you're watching Rocky Mountain Gardens. As promised in my last craft room organization video, today I am going to do a tour of my entire craft room. And if you would like to see a lot of my craft organization specific things and how I did them, go back and check my playlist called Craft Room Organization. Now, let's go ahead and step inside my craft room. Of course, each of us like to have a beautiful place in which to do our crafting. So today I'm showing you this great 6-foot table that I've had for many years. In fact, I used to use it down in my basement when my daughter was little, and the basement was unfinished and we just did lots of crafts down there. Children's crafts, that is. And I have some things on the walls here that bring a smile to my face, like this beautiful farm picture with this snow scene and a lovely cow. And then here's a wreath that I made of pine cones and made this a while back. And then I decided to spray paint it white in order to make it more fitting for this room. I like on this shelf here to display some of the projects that I've done over the years. And down below the table, I have some of these plastic drawer sets and my trash can. And you can see how I organize those plastic drawers in another video. Of course, I have a lot of lamps to give me bright light in the evening when I'm working. And here I have some family photos and baskets. These pine bookshelves I've had for many years as well. And when I really turned this full-blown into my craft room, I took all the books out. And here you can see how I'm using these top ones for storing my stamp sets that come in these Stampin' Up! Cases here. And then below that, I have some fun, gosh, what are these called? I can't think of these words right now. These little folders for, oh gosh, I'll remember the name in a minute. Here I have some yarn and some burlap fabric and muslin, things that I use for certain crafts. And I believe I showed my ribbons in another earlier video. In these little drawers, I have ephemera that I use in my crafting, and I have them sorted by subject, like garden, ephemera, Mother's Day, and Mother's, Halloween, baby, Christmas, and so on. I always find it so helpful to have things organized so that I can actually find things when I'm looking for them. In these little containers, I have beads, and I also have some embellishments that I've made using my punches. I've sort of pre-made them. And then here I have all of my tapes. In these two containers, I have different types of embellishments. I have some brads, and in here I have some clips, different types for scrapbooking. And over here I have all of my adhesives. Then on this shelf I have my hot glue gun in a container where I can carry it where I need to. And I have some supplies for doing floral designs here, and some of my other crafting tools. And on this shelf, I have a plethora of lots of different envelopes that I use for crafting. And down here, I have one of these envelope punch boards, which are a really great tool. And then here, I've stored all of my pipe cleaners in just a glass jar that I had. And that keeps them all corralled together, easy to find. And on the bottom shelf, I have some zip ties, and in the back I have some books that I don't use very often since they're a little bit difficult to get to. I have these odds and end little ribbons, little pieces that I've gotten for different things. Here you can see my mom, myself, my daughter, and her first baby, 4 generations. And I have a nice, comfortable wicker chair here for friends who come over. And I do like having this table for when I have a friend who comes over to craft with me. We each have a workspace. In this closet, I do have my file cabinet that you would have seen on another video with paper storage ideas in my file cabinet here. And then my label maker actually came with a a magnetic holder for it. So I just stuck the magnetic holder onto my file cabinet, and that gives it a good place to stay. Now over here by my window, I have my spin-and clip, which you saw in an earlier video, and paper storage. And then on these top bins, I have a whole collection of different types of ribbon. And then in this cabinet here, which has all these drawers, I have lots and lots of different types of embellishments as well. When I'm making cards and scrapbooks, I really like to use a lot of embellishments. And then on this file cabinet here on the left, I also have my printer. And then I have my hot glue gun, and not hot glue gun, my heat gun is here, and I have it plugged in at all times so it's at the ready when I want to use it. Here's a view of my craft room, standing back a little bit. And here is my own desk and work area. It is not a color of wood that I love, but it really serves its purpose. It is quite useful and user-friendly the way it's arranged. So I have a bulletin board here behind my computer screen, and a picture of us in Mexico with my brother's family. And then over here, and you can see here I have another lamp for evening work. Here I have tags that I got when I was at a scrapbook week with another group of ladies. On my desk here, I have my Sizzix Big Shot, which is such a useful tool. And I find that I use that much more than a Silhouette or a, other brand that makes cutting machines. I can't think of it right now, but in any case, I found that I didn't use that kind of a tool that often, and I actually think it's more difficult to use than having a Big Shot. So I have a collection of dies. You may have seen my video about storing dies, but it is something that I personally like better. And then on my shelf here, you can see my stickles and some of my wooden stamps, that collection that I enjoy, and my Create sign and another lamp to give me lots of light. Here's a really darling winter picture of chickadees that my daughter gave me one year for Christmas. Isn't it cute? And I used this basket here that I made a few years ago when my daughter was little. You might have heard me say that before, but I took basket making classes from my neighbor when my daughter was a baby, and so I still have all those baskets and I do use them. I have all of my white cardstock stored there. So that is that side of my craft room. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to show you that I like to keep my stamping blocks in this drawer here, right next to my workspace, so they're easily in reach. And I have some baby wipes and paper towels in there. And coming around here is another bookcase. I have one of these, I have some extra baskets, and I have one of these boxes for photo storage. On this shelf, I have another photo storage box. And here I have my cards that I've made up ahead for giving out for various occasions to friends and family. And then I have my stamp and die storage. And here I have my tools that I use with my Big Shot. And then this is paper storage in this file and in these Princeton files here. And then I have some books and binders with information about my all my different crafts and things. Now in this bottom area here, I have some CDs, which we don't use too much anymore, do we? And then I store some extra ribbons, my paints. Here you can see all of my acrylic paints. And I have some little tools there in a little bin, sort of miscellaneous tools, my printer paper, and Mod Podge and so on. That's all stored there. Oh, and I forgot to mention on this top shelf, I store a lot of my scented candles for different seasons. I like to keep them in an easy place to find. And then behind my door here is my storage on my IKEA rails. And you can see how easy those are to get to when I'm in the middle of a project. And then we'll just come back here for another look. My comfy chair. And these two bookcases with lots of storage. You might notice that I have this border up here. A few years ago, I had painted this room like below the chair rail. I had painted it a dark green when I first moved into my house. And I got tired of that. And I had added the borders. And I really got tired of it, and the borders were very, very dark. So I tried peeling that border off. You can see it's gone at the top up here. But oh my gosh, it took me hours just to do that one strip up there. So I got a little bit lazy and I decided to try to whitewash the remaining border in my room. And then I painted it the whole room this light blue color that I find very restful when I'm working. And so there you are. That's a look at my craft room with lots of lights, like I said. Oh, and the other improvement I made in this room in the past couple of years is I had the carpeting that was in here taken out, and I used this is, let's see, it's called laminate hardwood. And so it's not fake, it's real wood that is laminated on top of like plywood to make these planks. It's less expensive than hardwood, but it is just as pretty and wears like hardwood, and it's just very nice. And also, I'm so happy because it's so easy to clean up, you know, to sweep up all of your little stray pieces of paper when you're crafting. Anyway, I really love my hardwood in my office. It's in my craft room. It's fantastic. I certainly hope that you enjoyed this tour of my craft room today. It was fun to do, and I really am enjoying sharing you all of my own tips for organizing your craft room and making it a place that is your happy space and that you are able to be very creative in this space. So I hope I inspired you to maybe organize and get your craft room or your craft space looking wonderful and, you know, making it a place where you want to go to do some projects. So guys, thanks for stopping by my channel, and I will link down below in the description box my series that is called Craft Room Organization, and take a look at it because you may find some ideas that you can use that aren't too expensive and can transform your crafting space for you. So you all take care. I hope to see you again, and I will be back very shortly because, you know, spring is coming upon us and we're going to be changing gears here and doing some spring crafts and some spring decor. So I will see you then. Take care now again. Bye-bye.